Hey, Xbox gamers and console gamers alike, you're now rocking with your boy KOY Str8murda, and you're listening to Str8murda Podshots. First and foremost, Merry Christmas. I hope that all gamers have a great holiday, and if you're listening to this after the Christmas holiday, I hope that your Christmas was special. I really am glad to see Microsoft make such a smashing comeback in the US and such a great comeback in the UK. Worldwide is still going to be a fight, but they did an amazing job this holiday season, especially over Black Friday. And I will be glad to make new friends as everyone has purchased new Xbox Ones with some amazing games that was released this holiday season. We recently had our Twitch stream, the Tickmiss Care package, that went off with sort of a little hitch here and there. There's some things that we need to work on, but for the most part, I think we got the gist of it done. So I want to announce and shout out some of the people that won some awards and thank them for participating. DC Nation, official _ Xbox _ news, and shout out to official _ Xbox _ news. This guy works on Instagram and runs news on his page on Instagram, and has taken us and given us to his fan base, promoted us to his fan base, and I really appreciate that. So big shout out to official on that, and hopefully we can return the favor sometime in the future. Jake, big shout out to Jake. Appreciate you for coming into the streams, watching us on Twitch, promoting us and helping us grow on Twitch. E-Dubs, Frosty Licking, and Cold Joe. Unfortunately, Cold Joe does not want to wait for his game that he had won, which was Ori and the Blind Forest. So I will be giving away Ori and the Blind Forest to a fan of my choosing when the game releases, and it will be a surprise gift from Tick Podcast to a special fan or one of our more dedicated, loyal fans out there that listen to the show and support us on a regular basis. So yeah, big shout out to those guys. I also want to acknowledge some of the people that help Tick Podcast get to where it is today. Without these guys helping us, promoting us, we wouldn't be as popular. I wouldn't have met some even more impressive Xbox podcasters out there, and I really appreciate the things that they did. So, I want to shout out Anchorman V. Really appreciate Anchorman. It's become a really good friend of mine. We talk often on Xbox. I really appreciate the things that he's done, the support he's given me throughout the Tick Podcast, I guess you could say, career. And was one of the first podcasters to reach out, come on our show, and try to help promote us to his own fan base. And I think that's something that Xbox podcasters need to do. We need to stop the bickering and the fighting, in all honesty. We already have so many people that are misinformed on the platform, and so many people that want to hate the platform for whatever reasons, and going against each other and hating on each other for whatever reasons. To me, it's childish and it's bitter, and things like that should be let go. We can't live on drama, don't get me wrong, I'm no peacemaker, but we can't live on drama. I think as podcasters for the Xbox platform, we need to be able to come together and support each other. And I think we all should end up on each other's shows at some point, showing that it's not just me, but Xbox community is strong. Xbox podcast community is strong, and we have one of the best fan bases when it comes to console gaming. So yes, big shout out to Anchorman V. Shout out to Red Dragon, great guy. Met him recently. Was really surprised by how chill he was. Cool dude. Shout out to Wingy Gaming. Shout out to Fame Entertainment. Shout out to Microbox, my boy. Shout out to Micro, man. Microbox X. If you haven't checked out his page, check out his page. Really cool cat. Love you some Microbox X. Really cool channel. Shout out to Kid Smooth, man. Kid is innovative. Gotta respect him. Kid uses to connect, does his little skits. Much respect to Kid, man. The guy has a lot going for himself. great potential. I don't know where Xbox will go in the future as far as allowing maybe us podcasters to become more involved in the Xbox platform. I think that would be really awesome. But big shout out to Kid for that. I like his style, I like the things that he does. Shout out to Gib Meister. I meant to give Gib Meister a shout out a while ago because he helped promote us when we were doing the special for Phil Spencer. And he's one of the guys that I missed. So big shout out to Gib Meister. Check out his page on YouTube as well. Really cool cat. Much respect. Much appreciate the things that he's done. And of course, shout out to my boy Iron Wolf, man. My Gears heads. Where my Gears heads at, man? Can't wait to play Gears, man. He posted up a really dope pic of Marcus Phoenix with the MLG image over him. It would be really dope to see Gears in Major League Gaming or Game Battles, something like that. I'm down for that. Can't wait to play with Iron on some Gears of War and get it in, chainsaw some guys, and do some really dope execution. So I'm looking forward to that whenever they release a Gears of War collection or they release the next Gears of War. So that's going to be really awesome. So shout out to those guys, man, including, shout out to Zaire. Shout out to Zaire. A lot of guys either respect him or they don't like him. The guy never bites his tongue, so people call him a bot. But he even admits himself he's the bot on the best box, and I can respect that. But, listen, the dude shouted me out. The dude helped promote the show, and, he even gave me some advice and things like that. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that regardless of how anybody else think. In my opinion, Zaire is a cool cat. He's a good guy. And if I could ever help them out, support them, or give them any advice, I would definitely do that. I'll be willing to do that without question. So shout out to the people that helped us, man, get to where we are today. And obviously, the biggest shout out that I want to give is to Mr. Phil Spencer himself. Phil, if you listen to this, I humbly thank you. Without you giving us the opportunity to interview you, a lot of people wouldn't know about Take Podcasts. A lot of people wouldn't know that, the topics that we talk about or the tones that we try to approach, or how we now, because of you, have had this door open up to other developers and execs within Microsoft and outside of Microsoft that is willing to want to come on the show. So that is a gift in itself. And now that's a very special Merry Christmas to Take Podcasts. I appreciate that. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. And God bless the Xbox team. You guys have been awesome. I can't wait to get, Aaron Greenberg on the show, Chris Carlo on the show, Ken Lobb on the show. Can't wait to get those guys on the show. Can't wait to see Rainbow Six on the show. We got a few special things coming up with some other devs that we're talking to. Hopefully we can make that happen for you guys. I don't want to give away anything too quickly, but we work hard, man, to do these things for you. So shout out to the Xbox team. And I really hope that we can get the E3 and really, take it to the next level for our subscribers and our fans, because we really want to do that. But on to gaming news. And, some things special happened today. Microsoft worked with Sony along with Google to video stream across their devices the interview. The controversial interview that literally was threatened to destroy Sony by supposedly North Korean cyber terrorists, I guess you can say, to a certain extent. And I respect Microsoft. Their position is, the freedom of expression is important. It's a part of the Constitution, and it shouldn't matter whether it's, physical freedom of expression or cyber freedom of expression. And they took the approach and were willing to distribute the interview across their platforms via video on demand on the Xbox One, and as well as Google on Google Play, which you could then watch on YouTube. And I think that's really special. I think that's really awesome that you have these two major companies, or shall I say three major companies, coming together to support one another and build such a awesome, I guess you could say, business partnership on something like that. Because a lot of times the greater good of something is more important than the competition. And I think that a lot of fanboys out there need to respect that and should learn from that. Because yes, competition is great, but it's not always about hate. These are businesses. They're just trying to make money. And in order to sustain a business, you have to bring in a profit to stay afloat. If not, your console will die out like Dreamcast. And I love Dreamcast. Shout out to Sega. I'm on a shout out spree. Shout out to Sega. You know, hopefully we get Shenmue and some awesome games from Sega next year on the Xbox platform. But yeah, man, I'm glad to see that, and I will be supporting that movie. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and rent it at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I'm gonna support that film on my Xbox One and watch it with my wife, and hopefully it's funny. Obviously, some major news came out. If you haven't heard, Rare has put in some I guess you could say some human resource requests for engineers and developers and programmers. And from what I understand, Rare isn't making just one game. The studio consists of about 200 people, and there's multiple games on deck. And I hear that they are making some really interesting things from what I've been reading. A lot of people are speculating Viva Pinata because they're looking for someone that is good with animation for quadrupeds. They also requested someone that was great with open world games. So, in a lot of Unreal 4 tech, I think they got something special. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe a Banjo. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Perfect Dark. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, if not Conquer, Viva Pinata. Those three games, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw at E3. If it was like a Rare Renaissance at E3 and those three games showed up, it would be bananas. It would be insane. And let Banjo release this year. Let Banjo release this year, or we get an announcement for like Battletoads or something this year. You add that to our already, amazing lineup of next year. Man, Microsoft is the console to get. I'm not knocking any other console, obviously, but Microsoft is the console to get when it comes to AAA exclusives. Respect that. Also, Windows 10 event, January 21st. Phil Spencer will be there talking about Windows 10 and how, Microsoft will be affecting PC gamers. But it's also interesting, he said, for Xbox gamers. Now, they showed something recently about an Xbox app being shown on PC, where I guess you have like your own Xbox interface on the PC platform. In my opinion, if it's something where you are doing remote play on any PC or remote play to any mobile, as long as you have an Xbox and you have the game license to that Xbox and you're able to play it, that is a game changer. That is a bigger game changer than any other thing that's been done by any other console, because you're not limited to a handheld device that you have to purchase, and you're not limited to a TV screen. You can use any PC, any mobile, any phone, and play your game streamed as long as you have an Xbox One and you have the Xbox game licensed to your console and account. I think that's dope. I really think that's dope. And I have no problem with third-party exclusives being third-party PC. I got no problem with that at all, as long as first-party games stay first-party. Halo, Gears, Forza, I know that they're Fable, but I think Fable should stay first-party as well. You have some first-party games like Ori and the Blind Forest. You also have a first-party game in Project Spark, which is also on PC. But the bottom line is that I think in order for Microsoft to continue to be successful and show that you need to get an Xbox platform in order to play these particular games, they have to keep those exclusives exclusive. And it's nothing against PC guys. PC guys always, I hope I get Halo 5. I hope they bring Sunset Overdrive. Why don't you want to just support the platform and pick up an Xbox? I don't want to say it's selfish because guys, play on PC, but PC guys also have PS4. And in my opinion, I think the Xbox One is better than PS4. And as of late, the whole digital foundry thing has actually been going in Xbox's favor. Regardless of resolution, a lot of these games recently, at least 4 or 5 of the last games have been running better on the Xbox platform. I'm not going to tell you what the games are. I know what they are. You can look them up yourself, but it's the fact. Those are the facts. I think that the improved SDKs have helped tremendously. I think DX12 next year, regardless of what anyone says, will help. And I think once Cloud kicks off and we can see something from Crackdown, it's going to be a game changer. People are sleeping on the Xbox One. I mean, they are sleeping on the Xbox One. And when you wake that sleeping giant, be prepared, man, because you're going to get a knockout blow. And that's how I really feel. I really feel like that. If Microsoft figures out a way to make remote play work across multiple devices, not limited to a handheld device or something like that, and you could play it across your iPad, you could play it across your Android, you could play it across your Windows Surface, Windows Phone, your PC, any PC, as long as you have the app, the Microsoft app, I think that's excellent. Being able to port games because of DX12 in a day or a month, or making one app for all 3 platforms across Windows on the Xbox is going to explode the apps on the Xbox platform. It's bad enough they're already dominated by almost 200 apps over the competition, with Pandora just releasing, Vivo just releasing, which I think were great additions. But I think that if they're able to get that DX12 working where people can hop on a Windows platform, create an app, and it runs across all 3 platforms from just one thing being built, that's a game changer. It's game changers galore coming out next year in 2015. You add games, the game-changing app for PC, a host of new apps that'll probably hit the Xbox platform sometime next year if all this gets integrated, and then the talk of VR at E3. I mean, we all remember Lumi Room. Obviously, that tech is too expensive, but I know Microsoft is no slouch when it comes to tech. No matter how you want to look at Kinect is a very innovative thing. It's not utilized properly, except for maybe D4, but it's still an amazing piece of tech. And I think when it comes to VR or AR, their tech is not going to be no slouch either. It's going to be top of the line stuff. You got the PlayStation platform trying to emulate it with their PSI or whatever it is, the PS camera, and it's good, but it's no Kinect. It's definitely no Kinect. It's definitely not on the same level, and it's definitely not marketed that way. And if you don't have a Kinect, you need to buy one because you don't know what you're missing. You believe the lies you want about it doesn't work properly. Trust me, it works. It really does, and it's gotten much, much better over time. I just want to finish up. I don't want to take up guys' Christmas too long. I really appreciate everybody listening to Str8murda Podshots, the Tick Podcast, to the review team. I'm very blessed to have found such amazing people that have become a part of the Tick Podcast. Unified is like my right hand man. I don't tell him enough. I don't want him to feel underappreciated, but he is my right hand man. There's a lot of things that Unified does behind the scenes that people don't realize he does and how important he is to the team. He's an important factor to the team, and I don't never want him to forget that. And I always want him to be on the team as long as we can have him. Shout out to B Money. B Money is my my man. 50 grand. When I talk to B, we on the same page. We think alike. We have the same thoughts, and that's good. That's good. He's no yes man. I love that about him. He has a differing opinion when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation because he's a multi-console gamer as well as Unified, but he's no fanboy. He's going to call Xbox out on it, and I love that about him because that gives us objectivity when it comes to the Tick Podcast and when we're talking about particular things. There may be some things he don't agree with that I do agree with, and we always need that. We don't need yes men. We need to have opinions, and opinions are important in this space. Shout out to Scotty Jim. Shout out to Doc, our original 2 reviewers. These guys have brought reviews to you if you've been able to watch them. Hopefully their opinions of the games and our thoughts on the games or whether they should be purchased or not helped you make a decision or show that, hey, the game is worth getting or the game isn't worth getting. And the fact that we didn't give it a review score, we told you straight up, buy the game or don't buy the game, is something different that you guys like and appreciate. Shout out to King Wybrow. Shout out to Turkey Paste, Skittles, Panta. I want to thank you guys for joining the team. You guys are very important. I don't get a chance to talk to you often because I try to do a lot with the podcast and Scotty's running the review team, but all you guys are important. You guys have done a hell of a job coming in, blowing up our Twitch channel with over 200 subscribers and putting out reviews that are great quality that will only get better in 2015. So Tick Podcast is here to stay, guys. You know, we're not gonna make you crack up all the time. We're not going to sit here and diss other platforms or fanboys and things like that unless we have to defend ourselves for whatever reason, because it does happen. You get hate. But I think that if everybody loves you, maybe you're doing something wrong. If you don't have somebody that's not disagreeing with you, then I think that you're doing something wrong, because you should have an opinion that people either agree with or disagree with, and they should be able to express themselves. And if you don't have haters, honestly, I think if you don't have haters, you're not successful. I think the most people that get the most hate are the most successful people, unless they're just jackbutts, or shall I say jackasses, you know? So I'm very happy, man. I think Tick Podcast had a great year. 2015 is going to be special. 2015 is going to be special. You thought 2014 was good? 2015 is going to be special. For Tick Podcast, for the Xbox platform, for Xbox gamers, and to all of my people on Twitter that listen to the show, all of my people that shout me out, thank you. Thank you. I'm humbly, very humble, and really appreciate all my friends, all my new friends that have joined me on Xbox and sent me requests to be friends and follows and things like that, and just hit me up, man. Listen, I'm a normal dude. You can hit me up anytime. We can play games together. We can chat. Thank you to all the people that wanted to join Core and that's a part of the clan. We're growing. We have a great community. People love it. And hopefully we'll be at E3 this year. We're definitely going to Comic-Con. I'm thinking about doing some anime things for my guys who love anime. I'm an anime head, if you don't know. I love anime. You know, it's a little bit dorky of me, but I love anime. And I'm thinking about doing a little anime show every season about what's hot, what's not, and talking about particular things weekly. So, yeah, you know, I'm going to Comic-Con this year. I'm going to get some great footage, try to get some great interviews with some actors and some game developers if they're there, talking about their games and stuff like that. So, and we're definitely going to try to get the E3. That's our goal. Our goal for next year is to try to get the E3, meet Mr. Phil Spencer in person, and be at the big show. Be at the big show and experience it and bring you guys stuff same day footage, on the floor footage, and on the floor interviews. Thank you all. I love you guys. I really appreciate every single last subscriber, whether you listen or not. The fact that you subscribe to Tick Podcast in itself is just special for me and the Tick Podcast family. You guys have a great holiday season, and we will see you on the 28th for our award show for Games of the Year, and next year for the Ken Lob special, the first, I believe, or second week of January. That date will be coming soon. Thank you all. Have a great holiday. I'm off this planet. Peace.
Killing spree.